And we're back. Doom, 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 doom. Let's see. Today's topic on Hector's point of view will be, it's a good one. Everybody wants to hear about therapy. Okay, let's get this one out the way. How important is therapy, or what does therapy mean to me? Therapy changed my life. Not gonna lie. I probably went about 2.5 years ago. First went because I was curious on why I was doing certain things, and I don't think I was really as self-aware as I thought. Probably I was in my relationship back in 2016, 2017. Yeah, or 2017. One of them. I don't know. But she had told me, you starting to act like your mother. And I really didn't like that line, but I had to sit there and think with myself, like, damn, do I act like my mama? And it kind of fucked my head up a little bit. And then I picked up a book called The Mask of Masculinity. I think a lot of guys should read it. It basically describes like masks men disguise themselves behind to kind of not show their true selves. And once I read that, it kind of made me want to go to therapy just to talk about some things, and just I wanted more control over my emotions too. A lot as men, we let anger kind of control us, and just we work out of emotions instead of just slowing everything down and really sitting in the moment, and actually being able to express our emotions without going crazy or doing some shit that we're gonna end up regretting. So luckily, I don't know how it is for everybody else, but luckily I got blessed because one of my classmates, she went to SIU with me. She was a therapist or a licensed therapist. So I got lucky when finding one, and I actually reached out to her. We had a consultation, and from there on, I was going at least once a week when I was starting out. And it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. It made me more self-aware, and it allowed me to control my emotions a lot more, understand things from different perspectives, put myself in other people's shoes. Because really, I was more of a I don't give no fuck what you going through type of person. Just get the shit done and then cry about it later type shit. But I kind of sit there and understand people more, or I understand emotions more, and I understand why people act the way they act, and realize that some of the shit that people take out on you isn't really about you. And it takes you going to therapy to kind of realize shit, and you get actually a great unbiased opinion about someone who is very logical and understands a lot of things that you're going through, or can be able to talk with you about what you're going through. And the good thing is about that is what I want to say. The good thing about that is you can't really talk to your friends when it comes to certain situations, or just have an educated opinion about something. And some of your friends around you don't give you the best advice. So if you want the best advice for you to be self-aware, I would always suggest going to a therapist just to hear them out and see what they're saying, just to make sure you're not crazy. Because sometimes I went to therapy to be like, am I crazy for thinking like this, or is this normal? So basically, I've been in therapy for about 2.5 years now. So it's just like, and I go kind of when I know I need it now. I don't go as frequently because I'm able to process stuff a lot more by myself, and I kind of understand everything that I'm doing. And to me, the biggest takeaway is always going to be self-awareness. You actually are very in tune with yourself, and you understand why you do what you do. Because we might lie to other people, be like, why did you do that? We can just shrug our shoulders and be like, I don't know. Well, truthfully, in your mind, you know why you did what you did. And you might not want to express it to that person, but if you sit down and think about it, you'll understand. I think that's what therapy is. It makes you answer the questions that you know are in your head about yourself, but you really just don't want to express it or communicate it because you feel some type of way about it. When I first went to therapy, I started talking about my mom a lot, and kind of getting away from the way I was shaped growing up. And I kind of didn't like, me and my mom don't have the greatest relationship, but I didn't really want to be like my mother. I wanted to be me, but I did kind of see myself, or see her in me for sure, off some shit I did. I mean, it's a good and a bad thing. the way my mom raised me wasn't bad at all. You know, my mom always gave me what she could. I was always set up, always a roof over the head. You know, we never really struggled because she worked like 3 jobs. But you know, with her working so much, she was never really around. And I guess it did affect me, type things. I might resent my mom a little bit for some stuff that happened. But you know, as long as you know, I went to therapy to forgive her, you know, to talk to her and stuff like that. And you know, you got to realize some people just don't change, regardless, especially older people. You know, and sometimes relationships just don't work out, and there's nothing that you can do. You can only do so much to kind of make the other person see where you're coming from, and sometimes it just don't work out, and you have to be okay with that. You have to understand that, and that's what I think therapy is about: just being okay with situations that happen to you, and being able to take control back over what happened to you, and not let that kind of shape your life, or just have one instance kind of turn you into a person that you don't want to be, or just have that much effect on your life. Yeah, so I would always suggest it for everybody, not just women. I think men need it too, but I think I've sent around 30 to 40 people at least to her, and I got a lot of people that tell me, that recommend, be like, man, you know, she saved my life. You know, I'm glad I talked to her. I'm glad you did it, because I really don't know how people go about finding a therapist. I got lucky. You know, I guess you have to go out there and search, and then how do you find the right one? How do you find that connection with a therapist that you actually like? I think that's hard. So I think I was very much a pioneer when it comes to mental health amongst my community and my circle, because a lot of people didn't know where or who to turn to for therapy. And I voiced it on Instagram maybe about a year and a half ago, because I waited probably after a year going to therapy to kind of share it with everybody else that I was going. And people actually do want to go, it's just they don't know who to go to. So luckily, you know, I had a great recommendation in Anuncia. So it's just like, ever since then, you know, she now has her own business, which is a lot off my clientele and just my circle itself. So I'm glad that that's prospering for her. We're gonna actually come out on my app. We're doing a whole section on mental health and just regular mental disorders and just anxiety and just things that people need to touch on and be educated about, that they might not even know and could actually change or save their lives. So therapy is definitely a recommendation for everybody, regardless if you're going through something or not, just to kind of understand yourself more and be more self-aware. Or if you have childhood trauma that you need to get past, or just anything in your life that affects you that you don't know how to kind of get past or work through, not just sweep it in the back of the rug or put it in the back of your mind, to actually get through it and live a happier, healthier life without the weight bearing on you of something that has happened to you. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns on who to go to, you know, of course, I'll always recommend Enuncia. And yeah, therapy is great. Changed my life for the better, for sure.